Hello, welcome to my channel. In this speed build video, I will be creating a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. And I put a bit of a garage on the side, and I do make a backyard and things like that. I was building this in Sunset Valley, so I think it's on a 30 by 30 lot, like one of the empty 30 by 30s when you start like a save file in Sunset Valley. And I was kind of inspired to add in some like family elements with one of them's a store object though. So like that was one of the main reasons I wanted, I think, to build a family home. So you'll see, but I don't know if it's fully functional because of the way that I set it up, but I have to test it out. But yeah, I had fun building this. The only thing was that I was so indecisive with one of the kid bedroom because I didn't know what color scheme and theme to go with. I wanted to go with like a wallpaper theme, and you'll see like I kind of struggle. I do cut out quite a bit of it because the original one I thought was so clunky and I didn't like how it was looking, so I changed my mind completely and I go with a completely different theme and color and everything. But I like how it turns out in the end, otherwise I wouldn't have shared this in the first place. But I will say, I do forget to record basically doing the entire kitchen. I think I like hit recording, and then I forgot that I never did the kitchen, so I had to record a second video and or something like that. So I'm really sorry about that, but it's a pretty basic kitchen. I was starting to lose a little bit of momentum when I was doing some of the like interior decorating, but I don't know, like I wanted it to be something kind of like basic for the kitchen and for like the bathrooms, of course, because it's a family home, so I don't want it to be looking like too extravagant. It's like they're in there a lot, like making food, like dinner, breakfast for their family, so it's just kind of like, you know, they need all of the space they can have and things like that. And you can always clutter it up if you move Sims into this house and you do use this home, but from what I know, the staircase and everything should be routable and all the rooms and stuff, because I didn't have the move objects cheat on while I was placing those things down to make sure that they actually would fit there without a place down cheat. So they should be fine. And I think the biggest room in this house is honestly the living room, but that makes sense because that's usually the case for a lot of homes. And the garage really only fits a car. I did have to use a move objects cheat for that though, but it should still spawn the car in the garage, like if you have a car in your Sims household. And with this home, I actually do place a car, I'll say, in the driveway because I wanted to cover up a part of something that I was doing. So you can always remove it, but it does come with the home. So my bad. But yeah, so for the bedroom, for the like adult bedroom, I actually really like the color scheme I go for. It's kind of like a deep purple, like slight periwinkle. I feel like I do use that color a lot and don't realize it, but I really liked the little wallpaper accent that I used in it, and I kind of make the bathroom that's next to it do the same thing. Now this is what I was saying, like the layout though, because I think you could tell that I'm doing wallpaper for like a bathroom, and both of the bathrooms are in the house or on the second floor, and they're literally across from each other in the same area, which I don't think is really typically how like a home would be set up. But I originally wanted that bathroom to not be accessible, the second one, through like just anywhere. I really wanted it to be for like the main bedroom's like walk-in bathroom, but I didn't like how the door setup was working in that room with it, and I wanted to place like a dresser and stuff in that area in the corner because it kind of fit perfectly. So I decided to just like kind of go with it, and I just was like, whatever, it's fine. It doesn't have to be like completely realistic, conventional, whatever. So I made the second door for that bathroom just be in the hallway, which I think is fine anyway, but I kind of overthink those things sometimes when I'm building. But again, The Sims isn't real, you know. But I do like to try to be a bit realistic, especially when I'm making like a family home specifically. Obviously, if I'm playing like Supernatural. Speaking of Supernatural, I've been doing quite a bit of live streaming of my Supernatural save file. So if you like that kind of gameplay, like live streams, go ahead and check out the live panel on my channel. Or go check out my Twitch channel, which is also linked on my YouTube channel in my links section, because I think I have like 5 or 6 maybe live streams recently of me playing that save file, and they're quite long. So if you like, you know, things in the background, or you want something to watch and you don't feel like playing Supernatural or whatever, you want to see some Supernatural gameplay, go ahead and check that out. But anyway, yeah, so this is the bedroom. And it was, like I said, it's my favorite color, honestly. I love a deep purple. I think it's really, really pretty. And I do like how it comes out. I made this room a bit more bare than the other room, like the kid bedroom. I fully decorated basically. For this room in particular, for some reason, I decided to leave out things like picture frames on the wall, like art, um, clocks, whatever, things like little extra things. But I do put like a rug on the floor and stuff. I just don't put much on the wall for some reason. But you could always do that and spruce it up if you download and use this house. It does make the starting price a little bit cheaper anyway, but this house I think comes out to quite a bit because I tried to use a car, I'll say, that was a bit cheaper, and I just put that in the driveway. So it does add a couple of thousand simoleons to the household, I think, price, but I don't think it added like an exorbitant amount. Like it's not over the top, but it still added quite a few thousand. Anyway, so this was the bedroom. This here is the kid bedroom. I'm laughing because I was like getting delirious as I was like trying to decorate this room because it was getting late. But I wanted to finish this bedroom, and this is not how it stays. You can see I'm changing the bedroom, the bedding, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to completely change this because originally I wanted to go for like either an underwater or a nautical theme, but it just wasn't working out how I wanted. And I didn't want to use too many store objects because I think I use in this build total 3 store objects. So if you don't have them, they'll probably either just disappear or be replaced by like a base game item. One of the store objects is that lamp. I thought it was really cool. It's like a surfboard that's kind of like bitten, I guess, by a shark or whatever. And then I decide to change the wallpaper up to kind of match what's going to be like the rug in the room, but I think I removed it because it was so loud and it was clashing when I was still decorating and it was throwing me off. But I put it back in the room eventually. So I go for like sort of like a I guess you could say like not a safari theme, but more of like a tropical theme. I guess you could say like floral, tropical, sort of out on like, beachy, I guess, a bit. So I go for that instead. I really did like this sort of like hot pink or like darker pink mixed together with like the green of the leaves and stuff. And I thought that lamp was really adorable, but if you don't have it, it'll probably replace it like a base game lamp. And this one I do fully decorate. And I also add in, I don't know if I show it on video. I can't remember, but I put another separate desk right next to basically this room in the hallway, right next to that window that's like on the side of it in the hallway, because I wanted there to be a separate desk for like the entire household. So maybe if someone has a laptop or something, they can place it there and they can use it. Or if there's like 2 kids in this house, a kid, a teen, 2 kids, and I can have both of them like do their homework upstairs, then they both have a separate desk to do their homework. Do you know what I mean? So I decided to do that. And also that corner was just empty and I wanted to put something there. But I added in a little bit of toys, not too many. I think I literally only add in actually that chest, like the costume chest, and I think that's the only toy I put in this house. So my apologies, but if you play with it, and you can always buy more toys for the kids. I do also like to add in a little bit of realism, but I think I forgot to do it on the first floor. So I only put the vents up on the second floor for some reason, so my bad. You can always, copy and paste them and place them in other parts of the house. And I do go for this like light blue, I guess you could say like a basic blue suburban look, sort of look, whatever. I just thought it looked nice with this house in particular. And then I do the outside. I had fun doing the landscaping actually because I put a lot of trees and a lot of flowers and stuff like that. And this is where I guess I was most inspired for this house, was like doing the exterior part of it for some reason. Like that was I had most in my mind when I was getting ready to build this anyway. So it's kind of like, oh, like I kind of know what I want this to look like. But yeah, I add in like I add in like shrubbery on the sides, a lot of like planted looking plants, like how they would kind of do like landscaping and stuff. And I put in like a big tree. I think it's really cute with like a little chair or something like that. I do use a base game chair, but of course if I wouldn't prefer to have used like a swinging looking chair from the store, but I didn't want to use too many store objects for this build for some reason. So I just decided to use like a regular bench from base game. But if you have the store object, of course you can always change it out, replace it yourself. And that's probably what I would do if I use this, which I probably will use this because I think it is cute. And it can be up to like a 4 sim household sort of build because the way that I did the bedroom, of course, and also like if you want it to be a 1 bathroom house, you can also kind of change up the big bedroom, and take the other bathroom and turn it into a smaller bedroom or a nursery or something. You know what I mean? Like I think there's room for this to be expanded. And there's also room in the back of this backyard if you want to kind of cut that off, and instead of having the garage like be the only part there, whatever, you can have like a separate room in there too. You know what I mean? Like there's space for this to be expanded for family gameplay if you want that. And I do like to do that when I make family houses in The Sims, because obviously when you do gameplay, sometimes you're like, oh, maybe the sim randomly has a want to have a kid with their spouse. And I'm like, well, you know what? Okay, let's do it. But then I'm like, but wait, there's no more space in this freaking house. So what the heck am I going to do? So I end up like having to expand the house. You know what I mean? It's already 2 floors. So you kind of want to expand it kind of on the first floor or second, like outward instead of upward. So that's what, Anyway. I'm just explaining, I guess, my sort of regular family gameplay, like how I usually do it. But, so I do show you how I do the, the dining room. But like I mentioned, the kitchen, I don't show it for some reason. I completely forgot because I started filming this late at night. And my brain was getting tired and I didn't know what I was doing. So, but I go for a sort of like olive green or dark, maybe sagey sort of green. My favorite green color is sage green. And put in some nice little decor pieces, a bit of floral looking stuff, and I do go back to it later and add in a little bit more because it looks a little bit bare to me and I wanted more in the room. But I think the living room is the last room I do in this house, and then I do a little bit more of the outside in the backyard and stuff, and then that should be everything, I'm pretty sure. I didn't set up for a pet, like for a house that has a pet in it already, but there should be some space somewhere if you want to. Like you can definitely make a space for the like, a pet, like a cat or a dog or something, maybe somewhere in the garage or somewhere in the hallway upstairs, because I think there's like a little bit of space in the hallway too. So there is space in this house if you need to add in like a little bit of things, like a little bit of things here and there. I didn't want to over clutter it and make it too expensive either. Like I feel like if you're doing gameplay, let's say, and you start with like a couple, and then they like start with like a starter home, and you're like, oh, but we're having a family now, we want to expand. I wanted a house that was maybe like between I think 40,000 simoleons. It might be about 50 with the car added, but if you plop it down and remove the car, then it should be less. So, but a little bit more affordable, right? So yeah, that's what I was going for. The living room, I don't know. Might not be everybody's taste. I wanted the couches to be kind of basic, but the color is kind of like a grayish green. I can't explain the color. I didn't want it to look too green, but I didn't want it to be, it's a bit like of a muddied green, but it looks a little bit brown. I can't explain it. Like I don't know what color you would call this, but I wanted to kind of match a little bit like the dining room area. Maybe they had a little bit of a color scheme going on, and I also like that painting that was above the record player and it has hints of green in it. So I don't know. Some people don't like certain green colors, but I really love the color green, like specifically like darker tones. So I tend to use them a lot in my builds, but yeah, like I was saying, this is the exterior where I was saying I was doing a lot of tree stuff. So I do like to do landscaping a lot, and I feel like it really needed it, especially in a family home, like a bigger house with 2 stories. Typically, they will have a tree on their property, like that was growing there for years, like before they even moved in. So obviously, because trees are very old in general. Trees are historically they're very old, typically, but yeah, so I added a really big one in the front yard though, and I felt like that was really cute, and I felt like that added a lot to like the homeliness of it, if that makes sense. And that's like I put like a little seating space, like I said, so it's a cute little outside tree where sometimes the family will sit or something, or when the teens grow up, they can sit out there with their, their crushes or their best friends and hang out, just like little things like that for story purposes, And this is a part I was saying that is a store object that I use. It's one of the 3 store objects that I use, but I don't know if it'll function. I tried to make it where you can't see the floor piece for the basketball court thing, but I don't know if I fully got it to work that way, so I'm sorry. But this is the end, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to give this video a like and to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you enjoyed the slideshow. Take care.